everyone! Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my study abroad experience in Moscow, Russia. I studied abroad in Moscow in the fall semester of 2017, so I was there from September 1st until December 22nd. A lot of you may be wondering why I went to Russia. Out of all the places that I could go, why Moscow? Well, if you don't know, my dad is from Moscow. He was born there and moved to the United States when he was 11, so it was really important to me to figure out why I am who I am and where I came from. That's something that's really important to me. So I just wanted to see where my dad grew up and where my grandparents grew up and my uncle and all of these relatives, and just kind of understand my heritage a little bit better. I'm a Russian minor. I finished my Russian minor last semester, so that also was a huge part of it for me is, well, I'm learning the language, I might as well go and just see what it's like, you know? A fun fact is I was the first student to ever study abroad in Russia from the University of Iowa. I went to my study abroad advisor in the spring of my sophomore year and I was like, hey, I want to go to Russia. And she was like, well, I don't really know what to tell you because no one's ever done that before, so you're kind of on your own. And I was like, okay. So I started researching programs and I found that CIEE's Moscow Business and International Relations program was the one that best suited me. So I was like, yeah, here, this is what I'm gonna do. And she's like, great. You go ahead, it'll be fine. I went to my business school's advisor and I was like, hey, these are the classes I'm gonna be taking. And they were like, yeah, you're good, go ahead and go. Yeah, that's not what happened. Yeah, I get to Russia, I'm starting my classes, I'm letting my advisors back home know what I'm taking, and they're like, oh man, Bella, we're not gonna accept any of this. You know, if you take stats there, sorry, you're gonna have to retake it. If you take microeconomics there, sorry, you're gonna have to retake it when you get back, so I don't really know what to tell you. You can take like 2 classes and get them back as gen eds. And I'm sitting there and like, oh my god, I'm losing an entire semester because they don't know this program because I'm the first one to go. They think that they just didn't know if it was reliable. So I made this huge step as a student that no one has ever done before, and they weren't even giving me credit back for it. Like it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. But I don't regret the experience at all because, as I said, it's like Russia as the place is really important to my family. So I got that experience out of it. I don't care that I'm graduating a semester late now because of it, because I got that experience of living in Moscow. You know what I mean? CIEE was a great program. There were about 7 American students total, and I still talk to most of them. I have contact with them like on a normal basis. It was really great. We had an American like director for the program who's lived in Russia for like 20 years. She was super helpful. So if any of you want to study abroad in Moscow or they have a St. Petersburg program, I really recommend using CIEE, especially if you are into international relations or international studies. That is the place that you should be going. So I really, really recommend CIEE for study abroad. A lot of people were surprised when I said I wanted to go to Russia. They were like, oh my god, it's so dangerous, isn't it? Like, there's the Ukrainian conflict, there's Chechnya, there's all this stuff. And like, no offense if this was you, but that's really ignorant. Like, Europeans could say that about our country today. Like, we have a bunch of issues, but that doesn't mean the entire country is in shambles, you know what I mean? And I was in the capital. I didn't feel like I was in danger at any point. I was kind of stupid and naive. I would walk alone at night with my headphones in to the subway. I would ride the subway alone. But I didn't feel like my life was in danger at any point. In the beginning, there were a few issues. Within the first month of me being there were bomb threats to the school. So we had to evacuate the school in the middle of class, and I'm telling you, I ran. I booked it. Someone came into the class and they're like, hey, sorry, you guys need to go outside now because there is a bomb in the school. Like, we got a call saying that or something like that. I'm not kidding you. I grabbed my stuff, I ran to the dorms, and everyone's just like walking down the stairways casually. I don't know if it's normal for them to get bomb threats, but I'm like, I'm not dying in Russia. So I ran back to my dorms. I just stayed there. I was not moving. There was no bomb. Like, people just called and it was like that like prank call thing that happens sometimes even in the US. But I just was not risking it. I ran. There were some bomb threats in the subway just because I was there before the FIFA World Cup. So they were just increasing security all the time. But otherwise, I never felt like I was in danger. I did have a stalker at the beginning of the year. There was this man who'd get on the same bus stop as I would, on the same bus, like a couple times. One time he finally approached me. He was like 40. He was like, hey, what's your name? Like, I just want to get to know you. And I was like, I was like, Yani Gavaru Pa-Ruski. And he was like, and then finally I was like, Я не хочу говорить с тобой, blah 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 blah. And he was just like not getting it. And then another time, so he came up to me on the bus when I was with one of my friends from the American program, whose Russian is a lot better than mine. And she went off on him. She's like, she said she's not interested in you. She wants nothing to do with you. You need to leave her alone. Blah, 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 blah. And he's like, well, I just want to get to know her. And it's like, I said, no, buddy. Sorry. I lived on the first floor of my dorm. There was construction going around outside, and if I opened my window, sometimes construction men would like pop their heads in and be like, hey, what's up? So I stopped opening my window after that happened, which was inconvenient. The thing is, it's a very big cultural difference. So in Russia, if you like look men in the eye out in public as a woman, they think that you're into them. Like you want to talk to them, you want to get to know them. That was really hard. Like they would catcall, they would say little things to me, like very, very, very uncomfortable situation. I tried to make the best of it. I just ignored it personally, but it was kind of like frustrating at times, just like you couldn't go anywhere without a man like saying something to you. Especially on the subways, like you could not look at anyone on the subway. I always had a book with me. I would read, I would listen to music. You can't make eye contact with people on the subway. It's so crowded. They all think that there's something wrong with you, or that you're trying to fight, or that you're eyeballing them to like steal something. So eye contact in Russia was just like, don't do it in a public place. Like unless you know who they are, don't look at them. I guess it bothered me that Russian students wanted nothing to do with me, so we weren't like all in a class with other American students. Like we had one class that was just us, but we were pretty integrated in our other classes. Most of my classes actually were just me. I was sad. I really wanted to be friends with the Russian like students. I wanted to get to know them, but they just didn't really want to have anything to do with me. I was in a group message with everyone in my class about to like talk about homework. No one like went out of their way. I follow a few of them on Instagram, and they'd be like, oh, American Girl, Chicago Bulls. I'm like, yeah. I don't know, it made me feel really sad that like I was an international student and no one wanted to do anything with me because they thought it was weird or I dressed weird. I don't know what it was, but I just thought like, oh, maybe they'll like me because I'm American, but like they wanted nothing to do with me. And they weren't like rude about it, but they just, like no one went out of their way to talk to me. CIEE did have a program called Russian Buddies. So Russian students who did want to meet American students or better their English met with us all the time. Like we would do different activities with them. I think there were like 6 of them total probably, and I talked to 3 of them on a regular basis as well. My buddy, my second choice buddy, and another girl. So those students did a lot with us, and I'm really close with them, and I'm really grateful for them for going out of their way to spend their free time with us, to teach us more about the culture and whatever. It's just that the majority of Russian students were not as open as they were. So I met my best friends in the dorm. At MGMO, where I went, there are 3 dorms, and 2 of them were specifically for Russian students, and they were miles and miles away from campus. The one that was really nice was right on campus, and it was only international students that lived there. So all of the French, Italian, German, Spanish, African, American, whoever was not Russian, lived in these dorms. So I made my best friends living in those dorms. It was like a community. It was really nice because being raised in a dual national household, I was really exposed to European culture and that kind of stuff growing up. So it was really nice to be able to connect with the people that I did. I mean, I don't know if they feel the same way about me, but this is how I connected with my best friends there in those 4 months better than I did with anyone in the States. I mean, they're still my best friends. We talk multiple times a week. I haven't seen them since, but it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't deter me from them being my best friends. And if you guys are watching this, I'm even like emotional. Like, you guys made that experience so much more for me, just like by being the people that you are. And whether we were having a pasta night or massage night or going to karaoke or going to get food or shawarma or whatever we were doing, like just doing it with you guys made all the difference. And I'm so grateful for that experience, and I will love you forever, and I will come to your weddings. So there's 6 of us in like this like really close group, and 4 of them met in Russia and are dating. So there was me, who had a boyfriend, and a guy who had a girlfriend at the time, so we just kind of like wheeled together with the 2 couples. But like, we're all friends, you know, there was never that like division. These people I met in the dorms were my best friends. And out of this group, like, we had a bigger group of international students that we hang out with, and we did a dinner like together all before we left. We would hang out in our, like, we would have parties in my apartment or in the other girls' apartments or in the boys' apartments. Like, we were just always together. And that sense of community was really important to me. It's like, I've never had best friends like I've had these people. So I'm really, really grateful for the friends I made there. That's pretty much it. I loved my semester abroad. I grew so much as a person, just living in a big city, coming from Downpour, Iowa City, moving to Moscow, which is geographically like the biggest city in Europe. It really was a great experience, and I don't regret one part of it. Yeah, I was away from my boyfriend and my family and my pets for 4 months. I lost a semester, whatever, like you can look at all these negatives, but it was the best experience of my life, and I think about it every single day. I had an internship where I worked with amazing humans. One of them is one of my dearest friends still to this day, who I talk to every other day pretty much. It was a great experience, and if you're ever thinking about studying abroad, don't feel like you have to go on the path everyone else does. If you want to go to Abu Dhabi, go to Abu Dhabi. Like, don't go to Paris just because everyone else goes to Paris, or don't go to London because your mom says it's safer. We're doing something with your life that you wanted to do, and I'm so glad that I took advantage of the opportunity and I was independent enough to go do this by myself with no one I knew. It was an unbelievable experience, and I cannot wait to go back to Moscow. So if you have any questions about Russia or study abroad, please always reach out to me. I love talking about my experience. Okay, well, I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye.